Good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1049. By the way, yesterday was actually episode 1048. Uncle Rich, where were you at? Usually he corrects me on these things. So there's right now in the library, there's two episode 1047s. I just noticed that today. So I'll have to go in and change yesterday's episode, update it to episode 1048. Happy Wednesday. It's trash day. Hopefully it's at the curb. Mine, I took it out late last night. Last night was the favorite things party. 14 women in the house. That was fun. My buddy could not meet me out for drinks last night, so I hid down here in the basement. Hey, I got a lot of work done. It's like I just hide in my basement. Play with my baseball cards. So, yeah. So I ordered a pizza. So I stayed away from the upstairs. Although a couple of my wife's friends had not been to the house yet. So they came down and looked at my baseball cards. So good times, good times. I'm late this morning. I did not set my alarm. I forgot to set my alarm. You ever get into this, like, you have a routine. Like I have such a routine. And then when you break that routine, you're like way off. So last night I was way up because last night I was down here and it's like, oh, it's 9 o'clock. It's like, Jesus, the house is still full. Getting close to my bedtime. 9:30. Oh my God. So I go upstairs and da-da-da-da-da. And so it's like past my bedtime. I'm out of my routine. I'm taking the trash out at like 10 o'clock. Just everything's out of whack, including me setting my alarm. So I overslept, which is okay. The boss is okay. Boss says, yeah, you can oversleep. That's cool. So yeah, we had the favorite things party last night. So of course, some of the ladies come down and check out the basement. And what's with hugging? When I was growing up, I hated hugging. Absolutely hated hugging. The problem I have with hugging is it's not universal. Like we need to make something the fist bump should be universal. Like I'm comfortable with the fist bump because shaking hands can be weird. If you go in and the other person, now the fist bumps become popular, especially after COVID. It's like, well, I don't want to shake your greasy ass hand, your sweaty ass palms. You go in for the fist bump. But sometimes it's like, oh, what are we doing? It's like doing the dance. Fist bump, handshake. Fist bump, handshake. You go in, you're not expecting a handshake, and you go in with the weak hands. You want a strong, firm handshake. Be a man. Change your own oil. Give me a firm handshake. We need something universal. I got some friends, some dudes. They're like the bros that want to hug it out, man. It's like, I don't want to hug it out. Just give me a fist bump, man. I don't need to like hug it out. And like women are huggers. My sister, oh my God, my sister was she would like chase me because she knew that I hated hugs as a kid. She would chase me. And now it's like when you meet somebody for the first time. So I have like my own rule when it comes to hugging. If I've never met you before, we're going with the handshake. Because I don't know if you're a hugger. I just met you. Like I'm literally meeting you right now. I'm not comfortable if you're not comfortable. Are you comfortable? If they come in and they're like, oh my God, I heard so much about you. Okay, we're going in for the hug. But if it's just like, hi, nice to meet you, we're going in for the handshake. We're not going to hug this one out. This is a little awkward, right? I wish we had, and see, these are the things that I think about when I'm sitting alone in my basement day in, day out, and I don't have any outside communication going with other human beings. It's what happens when you talk to your dog all day. So I have like one of our friends, they're huggers. It's cool. Like we've known each other for 10 years. And I could tell she was coming down. She was going, she was leaving. And I could tell she was like expecting me to like stand up. I was on the couch. Like it's like 9:30. It's like I got Christmas Vacation on. It's past my bedtime. Just I need my space. So, and then like she came back and she's like, I have to give you a hug because, and they're moving to Arizona. So it's like, okay, hug granted, right? I just wish there was something universal, and I want it to be the fist bump. I want the fist bump to be universal. So that's what I did. I hung out. I was on the couch last night. I had some good basketball games on last night. Here's something that I'm very annoyed with. I just took a steaming hot shower. Now I'm drinking hot coffee and I'm sweating. Look at that. Look at that sweat. I'm glistening. Some good basketball on. I checked and it's like, I hope there's some good basketball games on because I was kind of in like a basketball mood last night. I'm like, I want to watch basketball. And so I saw, Illinois is playing Florida Atlantic. Okay. Both top 20 in the top 20. This is going to be good. Look at the sweat. Just like, okay, this is going to be good. Wisconsin and Michigan State. Hey, sweet. And they're staggered. I think the Illinois game started at 5:30, 6 o'clock for the Wisconsin game. So I have the Illinois game on. It's 6 o'clock. It's like 6:05. And I'm like, I'm going to turn on the Wisconsin game. So I go out into the rec room, turn it on, and I'm flipping through, and I cannot find the Wisconsin game. I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, am I missing it? So I'm scrolling again a second time, still can't find it. And finally, I text like my former coworkers, and I'm like, hey, is the Wisconsin game not on tonight? And they're like, no. I'm like, that's weird. Like, I just watched Western Illinois play Hannibal LaGrange, and I just watched that on TV. And now I can't watch Wisconsin versus Michigan. And there's like a football game on, like a rerun football game on the Big Ten network. What in the hell's going on? So I'm like, this is stupid. So I'm still watching the Illinois game. Finally, my coworker texts me back and he's like, oh, it's on Peacock. I'm like, oh, this is why it sucks I get Peacock. I'm cool with that. But how do we know when games are on various platforms? That's why, like, yeah, we have so many platforms to choose from and to watch games. How in the hell do we know where our teams are playing? So I was able to watch like the second half, half the second half, whatever. Nice win for Wisconsin. Illinois with the win over Florida Atlantic. So that was fun. So that's what I did last night. Where are we at in the chat? I want to talk about sealed wax prices. I had also last night as I'm watching basketball and on the couch, I was scrolling through Twitter, monitoring like the winter meetings and all the not drama really. Well, there's Ohtani drama. Was following that, and then saw an interesting tweet from Mike Summer. And we had differing opinions. So we're talking back and forth about that, about sealed wax prices. And so I want to talk about that today. Shane's in the house. What's happening? Good morning to you. Victor, what's up? Good morning. We've got Red Light 34 in the house. Philly Joe is here. Good morning. He's got to go get his oatmeal and grapes. Dan's here. What's up, Dan? We've got David. Good morning, David. Donald Davis in the house. What's happening? Harlan is here. Good morning to you. Brian, what's going on? He plans finding a cheap blaster to rip soonish. We want cheap wax and we want it all the time. So speaking of, there's still some cheap wax. You know, I think Mike brought up like, well, before COVID, we had $10 blasters. You can get $10 blasters right now. Right now. I think Blowout, I just saw it come up on my Facebook page. Like they're like Black Friday, Black November sales are still going on. You can get a case of Panini Prism baseball this year, 2023 Panini Prism blaster case, 20 boxes for $200. Tell me there's not cheap wax out there. Come on. Look at that, baby. Look at that. 2023 Panini Prism baseball blaster, 20 box case, 200 bones, $200. Look at that. UFC blasters, same, 20 box case, $200. 300 for the Chronicles. Look at that. Tell me there ain't cheap wax. $10. $10 a blaster. Cheap blasters are out there, man. Cheap blasters are out there. And, you know, it's the argument could have been made about wax being overpriced like 2 years ago, last year and 2 years ago, but not now. Like we're seeing the cheapest wax that we've seen in 3 years, 4 years. Steel cards in the house. Now there's certain like Bowman draft, but there's demand for it. If people are going to buy it, let them spend their money how they want, right? So I want to get into that. Brian Wolf, what's happening? Good morning. James, what's going on? Bring some leftover cheese to Janesville. We've got a freaking fridge full of cheese. There's probably enough to bring to Janesville on Saturday. By the way, I'll be in Janesville. Did I create something for that? A little, there we go. Yep. This Saturday, I'll be in Janesville, Wisconsin. I'll have the dime boxes. I'll have some dime boxes and I'll have a few supplies. I'll even have some closeout quarter boxes, 4 rows for $40. So that's this Saturday. Janesville, Wisconsin. It's at the Holiday Inn Banquet Hall, right off I-39, Janesville, Wisconsin. Come see me. And then I'll be at the Club 400 Christmas party. So there will not be a Hobby Evolution Saturday morning nor Sunday morning. Because I have the Club 400 Christmas party on Saturday night. So I'll recap the weekend next Monday. Todd's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Thanks for all the great cards. Your sales are too tempting. That's the goal. That's the goal. Sales are going well. And there's a correlation of why are my sales going well to start December? Well, I'm adding a ton of shit. That's why. I'm adding a ton of shit. My sales conversion rate was way down. My sales conversion rate was down to like 6% a few weeks ago. And thanks to that 50% off sale a couple of weeks ago, it's almost 8%, 7.9% now. My impressions are up, page views are up, conversion rates up. Sales are still a little down, but not quite as down as it was. And the way I'm trending, looks like I'll be back in the green on sales. So what's my value box digger is going to want to know what my update is this month. So the month of December, we are at 428. 428. So yesterday we were at what, 318? So yesterday was a good day in sales. Where are we at? Yep, yesterday. So Friday and Saturday were shitty days. And then I've bounced back Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. So adding a ton of new inventory each day. Probably won't get too much up today because I've got to go to my uncle's services. So actually, not long after I wrap this up, I'll be on the road. But I did add, last night I added a bunch of Topps archives from like 2 years, 2015 and 2018, I believe, just some singles. What else did I add yesterday? I added a ton of shit. So check out the eBay store, 99centcards.com. Link also in the description. 7 or more at regular price, you get 25% off. I mean, there's stuff in there that it's like I shouldn't be putting this at this price, but I know my buy-in. That's we've talked about it like every day. You make money on the buy side, and so I know what I have in these cards, and especially with these like serial numbered cards. I sometimes I just like 250 sounds good. Boom. And then I'll get like I had the Darren Erstad 250. By the way, it sold $6. I had it originally listed for $2.50. Somebody comes in and sends me a $2 offer like 3 minutes later after listing. I'm like, I better look this up. And like, there's a couple listed for like 15. And I'm like, okay, we're gonna raise this. And I think I raised it to $750. Somebody sends me an offer for $6. I'm like, yep, I'll take it. So there's like Topps Black, like numbered to like 67, 71. I think I way underpriced Topps Gold from like 10 years ago. I had Freddie Freeman, Max Scherzer, Justin Verlander, like some of the stars from like 2013, 2012, 2013. Those like flew. I'm like, oh, I probably underpriced those. So make sure you're following my eBay store and you can take advantage of my non-comping. So it's like, hey, I'm happy to sell it for $250. I don't need no stinking comps. But if you send me an offer, like as soon as I list it, I'm going to look it up. And I'm going to decline the offer. If it's a $20 card, I'm going to decline this offer. It's now $15 or whatever. So that's what happens. Brian Wolf says, where is that countdown intro from? Everyone uses it now. So it's just it's a StreamYard thing. Probably most people, I think, use StreamYard. There's another one called Restream is the other one. Restream looks pretty cool. I think it's a little more expensive. I think I pay $25 a month for StreamYard. I think Restream is, don't quote me on this. I have no idea, but I thought it was like $100. I guess I can just go look, right? What's Restream cost? Restream, the #1 live streaming tool. Pricing. Oh no. So I was way off. So the professional, the most popular, aka the most actually it does go up. There is a premium version that's $100 when billed monthly. If you sign up for a year, it's only $83 a month. So the professional, which they list as the most popular, is $41 a month that's billed yearly. Otherwise, if you pay by the month, it's $49. You get 8-channel multi-streaming, Facebook pages and groups. You get to remove that Restream branding, which you get 10 on-screen guests, which I think is the same as StreamYard. Custom graphics, stream in full HD 1080p, 60-minute upload, store 10 videos, 2 gig per video. So I don't know what that means. Let's see, premium. The only thing that I would want it for is like just the different bells and whistles. It looked like, because I think Ty over at Chasing Cardboard has Restream, and when we did one of our eBay videos, he was using. I think it was the first time he used it. It's like, hey, this is pretty cool. Premium version. What's the difference? You get 15-channel multi-streaming. So the thing with the channels right now, I'm only using Twitter and YouTube. So I'm not streaming to Facebook pages and groups, although I guess I could. Like if I do a Madison Card Show review, I could link it up to my Facebook and my Madison Card Show and all that. 10 on-screen guests, that's all the same. You get 2 hours instead of 1 hour on the upload. You can store 25 videos opposed to 10 on the professional. You get 5 gig per video. And then there's a business version, a whopping $250 a month. So, yeah, I think I'll stick to StreamYard. Where are we at? Red Light says bedtime at 9 o'clock. You're old. Yes, I am. I'm okay with that. No, I usually go to 10 o'clock is kind of usually 9 o'clock. I'm certainly winding down at 9 o'clock. By 9:30, actually, you know what? Now that it's winter and it's dark at 4:30, 9 o'clock is kind of when I'm. Biscuit wants to go outside. Biscuit wants to go to bed at 9 o'clock. So it's 9 o'clock and she's like at the door. It's time to go to bed. She knows the routine. She goes, she potties, she goes to bed. So 9 o'clock and it's like, well, I might as well go to bed too. So right now, this time of year, yeah, 9 o'clock. In the summer, it's closer to, it's 10 o'clock, 10:30 because it's light out at 9 o'clock. Low Roller Scratcher's in the house. He's about to give us a Bitcoin and cryptocurrency update. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for the Low Roller Scratcher Bitcoin update. Sal Dougie's in the house. What's up? Good morning. Flawed Thinker is here. What's happening? There's our crypto update. Dogecoin, it's pumping hard today. It's up to 10 cents. How about that? Brian Wolf is in Miami. Got a hug and kiss cheek, sometimes two cheeks. Very European. Sometimes two cheeks, depending on their nationality. I miss masks. Yeah. See, I would not be a fan. I'm not going to Miami. Actually, that's where my mother, she's there now. The notorious MIL. She has a home down in Boca, and she's down there, so I stay away. Stay away from Miami. Let's see. It's Dogecoin's 10th birthday today. Mark says, good morning. When I started collecting, wax packs were 15 cents. Cellos were a quarter. I'm that old. We were all offended when Upper Deck came out at $1 a pack, right? 1989. We were bitching about pack prices and wax in 1989. And you know what? I bet when packs went from a penny to a nickel, people were bitching in the 50s and in the 60s. And when they went to a quarter, oh my God, 25 cents for a pack of cards. I was paying a nickel. This is another sign you know you're getting old, because I remember, like, as a kid, I remember the elders when you collect baseball cards? Guess what? When I was a kid, when I was your age, they were a nickel. And now we're the old people telling the young kids, when I was a kid, I paid 50 cents a pack. We are the old people. 50 cents a pack? Now they're like $10 a pack, $5 a pack, just like they were 50 cents or $1. And they paid a nickel. Mark says, my ex's family are Puerto Rican. Parties and holidays were hugging and kissing festivals. Yeah. See, Puerto Rico, Miami, stay out of South Beach. ATL Picker, what's going on? Just get the hell out of my house, right? Just get the hell out of here. I just want to go to bed. I'm 40. I'm old. Michael Renicky, what's going on? Good morning. I always check Yahoo Sports. At the very bottom of the matchup, it tells you what network the game is broadcast on. Oh, I like that tip. That's a good tip, because I use the Score app. And the Score app did not tell me which channel it was on, because I actually looked. I'm like, maybe it's going to tell me, and it didn't. I went to ESPN Plus. See, that's the problem with the Big Ten. Well, they have this deal with Peacock, so that's the problem. But they're not like on the ESPN unless it's like an ESPN game. But I know my Western Illinois Leathernecks, they're going to be on ESPN Plus, and I think they play. What's today? Today's Wednesday. When do they might play tomorrow? I don't know. But speaking of the Western Illinois Leathernecks, I'm back in, baby. I watched, I was excited. I'm going to the Badger game against Western Illinois. I've got the alumni social. They're going to hit me up for money. That's what that's what alumni people do. I'm watching games. I'm like, hey, they didn't look too bad against the Badgers. I watched their game against NAIA, the Cupcake game against Hannibal LaGrange. I watched the game against South Dakota this weekend. Guess what I did? I fell prey to their money grab. It's going to a good cause. So I joined the Leatherneck Club. It's been a couple years since I've been a member. And I am not like a trade. Like, I am not just, I don't have blind loyalty to my alma mater. Some people do, and that's cool. That's okay. Nothing wrong with that. It's a great thing. But I don't. I am relationship based. Not just blind loyalty to my university. So when I give up my money, I want it to be going to something important to me and relationship based. So my first, after I left, my first donation was to the softball program because they're like an underfunded, they're a non-money program. I knew the coach. And so it's like, I'm going to give my money to the softball program because everybody gives money to the football team and the men's basketball team. So I wanted my money to go to somebody that, I respected, I was friends with, in a program that needs, the boost. So I went to the softball program, and then she left. Actually, she stayed at the university, but just went into a different, and it's just kind of like, and by that time, like now, especially when you get to low major Division I programs, it's basically a stepping stone. Coaches come in, they leave. Like nobody stays in Macomb, Illinois. So they come in, they leave. So there's no loyalty, right? So by that point, we've had since I've left, how many football coaches has there been? So I've only been gone 9 years. 9 years. And the football program is about to hire their 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth coach. The football program is about to hire their fifth coach in 9 years. And actually, I think in 8 years, because Bob Nielsen was there after I left. He was still there 8 years ago. Charlie Fisher went on. I think he went on to become the wide receivers coach at Arizona State. Jared Elliott, I believe, was the next coach. I think he was fired. Myers Hendrickson, the most recent head coach, he was fired after just 2 years. 2 years and 0 wins. So, and I don't have and I wasn't a big football. Football was but I was a big men's basketball fan. And I guess I still do have I'm friends with the women's basketball coach, JD. So basically it's like, okay, they hit me up, and they're poking you at the alumni social. Oh, don't forget, tomorrow's Giving Tuesday. So I'm like, okay. It's been a few years. I feel obligated. And I do. Western has a new head coach, and I didn't really know the last. And I guess there's been, let's see. So Coach Mo was the coach. His last year at Western was also my last year. So then there was Billy, who was an assistant under Coach Mo. And then who was after Billy Wright? Oh, I think Rob Jeter, who Milwaukee, and that was a big pickup for Western. And then he left. I think he's at Southern Utah now. So this is Chad Boudreau, and like I remember Coach Boudreau from, I think he was at Highland Community College down in Freeport, Illinois. And he was at various, I just remember him being, I think he would send players from his JUCO programs to Western. And he was on staff with Rob, Coach Jeter. And so he's the head coach. And I've been really impressed with his post games. I'm impressed with how the team has improved. Here's more Western Illinois basketball talk you didn't expect today. So I'm like, you know what? I'm really happy with what he's doing. So I gave my money to the men's basketball program, and back in the Leatherneck Club. See, that's what happens. Like, out of sight, out of mind, but you prod people. Hit up my eBay store, 99centcards.com. You keep prodding people, you'll save 25% off 7 or more cards. I added some great stuff. If you keep prodding people, they'll come. But just don't do it in an annoying way. 99centcards.com. Just don't be a used car salesman. Danger, danger! Avoid the Brian Gray used car salesman method. It's like, oh my God, I don't want to buy any of that guy's shit. I like Brian Gray. I've never met the guy. I don't like this new Big Bri the Deal guy shtick he's got going on. I like the Leaf CEO bombastic, tell it like it is, a little better than over the top Big Bri the Deal guy, danger, danger. So they poked and they prodded. They finally got my money. Paul Carl's in the house. What's going on? Good morning. Flawed Thinker says, I've been trying to get into NBA cards, So I've been watching more games to see why different players sell for what they do. Stinks that the fans never seem to be into the games like NCAA men's basketball. Yeah, you're a better man than I, because I don't understand the NBA card market. I just don't understand. This is crazy to me. I'm glad Paul Carl's in the chat. Hopefully he's still with us, because he commented half an hour ago. We're behind. Paul Carl's the big lot guy. And I've dabbled. In fact, NBA is where I began my lot. So Bean's Ball Card blog, I don't know if he's awake yet, but Ken turned me on to the small player lots. Like you can still get them in plain white envelopes. Do like 8, you can still get them in plain white envelopes. So I dabbled, and this was like during COVID, because I think I was still I was still at my office. So it was 3 years ago. I was working from home, and so instead of going to the water cooler, I'm going to list a few cards on the side. Double dip. And so that's where I started, like Hakeem Olajuwon, Reggie Miller, David Robinson, because that stuff just wasn't really moving early on in COVID. Eventually it started to move. But they weren't just moving as singles. And all of a sudden it's like, hey, and it wasn't like overnight. Like some of the stuff I can list, like autographs for $5, Topps black and gold for $250. Like those typically move within 24 hours, the good stuff, right? But I was seeing like a trickle. Hakeem Olajuwon, like 3 days later, Patrick Ewing, Reggie Miller, like, wow, this stuff, I'm going to have to close the shades in a moment. This stuff is actually selling. Now, I could put 8 cards of 91 Fleer, 91 Hoops, 90 Skybox of Patrick Ewing as singles, and they just wouldn't move. I'd put 8 cards together as a lot for $5. Like a week later, sometimes it would be several weeks, but they'd eventually move. I'm like, wow. I didn't stick to that method, though. I didn't stick to that lot strategy, and here's why. And Shane, who listens in replay, but Shane shops my bargain boxes, and we've had this conversation like multiple times about the way we're set up. I am just not. I'm gonna shut this damn shit. I'm just not set up. My workflow and my efficiency is not set up to be in lots. And it does slow me down significantly. When I sell lots, and I've been listing some small lots again, it slows me down like on the listing or on the shipping part. But they do move. I'll list, I think I did list some basketball last night. I think that's something I listed. I listed like 100, basically that stuff, because I had those ready. A lot of Kevin Garnett. If you're wanting some Kevin Garnett singles, hit up my eBay store. I didn't put any lots together, but singles. And they'll just sit and sit and sit. I put a lot together, and I bet a Kevin Garnett lot. I should list one here this morning and see. The singles don't, and this is strictly basketball. Baseball, I have success where I'm selling singles as opposed to lot. I mean, I'm still moving some lots. It's like, oh wow, Jose Canseco lot just sold. That's bizarre. But I also move a lot of singles of Jose Canseco. So Paul had mentioned he had posted something in the Hobby Evolution Facebook group. Hit it up, Facebook search bar, Hobby Evolution. Still haven't logged into my Facebook account on this computer, so I can't give you the link. But find it. There's always great conversation. He had mentioned something about in my eBay store. He gave some numbers of what I had moved in my store. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to try that with a Griffey lot. I'm like, thanks for the tip. And I realized I had listed, like before that conversation, like a week ago, I had listed a Griffey lot. I think I listed it with my Otanis and Trouts. For some reason, my Trout lots have not sold. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. Otanis did move, which they were slower than I expected. I thought they would move like overnight, and it took a couple days. My Trout lots, I don't think have sold. But I did list a Griffey, and the Griffey lot, I think, did sell like overnight, like last night, tonight. So it took, which is kind of what I'm seeing. You're not going to sell it in the first 24 to 48, but they typically do move. And it's like every time one of those lots sells, it's like, ooh, bonus. But I'm not set up to do like an efficient, like all of a sudden, because it takes longer to list. It takes longer to ship. Paul can argue, well, you set up these macros and all that. I don't know shit about macros and that stuff, so I don't want to learn. I guess part of the problem's on me, right? But that's just not how I'm set up. I'm set up and I want to continue selling singles. That's my jam. Singles is my jam. And lots are a good complement to that. Lots are a good complement. It's, you know, I can sit down and list, you know, my Topps Archive singles, my, you know, Bowmans and colors and serial numbers and all that, list that, be efficient. And then if I want to watch the game out in the rec room, I'll grab some cards. I'll put some lots together, kind of like, you know, I'm on the couch listing cards, watching Netflix. It's kind of that same philosophy where it's not my bread and butter, but I'm going to put these together and see how they sell. Scott's in the house. Good morning. What's up? Brian, good morning. Value Box Digger. 1960, a pack of 6 cards cost 5 cents. The medium income in 1960 was $5,600 annually. I wonder what the, and I think I've seen this before, where I think the price of cards has outpaced like the, what do you call it? Like the rate of living or whatever that is. I must have missed that chapter in finance. Mark's in the house. What's up? Good morning. Brian says, thanks for the help with the insertion fees. I was really struggling. There you go. Got it all figured out. Johnny Boy Cards. Good morning. Last night, a guy bought 8 blasters of 18 update and pulled like 30 Otanis, including a gold Otani, Ichiro, among other Sotos and Acuñas. Holy shit. 8 blasters of 18 update. That's so you can buy blasters of 2023 Panini Prism for $10 a blaster. You know how much a blaster of 2018 update's going to run you? I wonder if Blowout has any on their website. So just going to Blowout 2000 Topps 8 update. Oh, nothing there, but I bet it's a lot. Hoff Rooks, what's up? Bring back good old wax. Sealed stale gum 25-cent packs in the hobby will boom again. For us boomers and old timers, 18 update was on clearance racks in 2018. It was wild, pre-grade, everything, boom. Yeah. 18 update. I remember what the hell's the Party City? Party City had them on clearance. I was able to buy like a dozen fat packs of 2018 updates from Party City. They were like $2, and I ripped every damn one of them. Blasters $12.99 in the clearance section. Only Walmart. Target had stopped doing the clearance by 2018. But yeah, 2018 Topps Holiday was in clearance. You could pull. There was no Sotos in that, but there were Acuña rookies. And I guess Otani too. Fun if we only knew. Brian Baker, what's up? Have had some delayed packages from my eBay sales. It's the busy season, obviously, with post office mail carriers delivering hundreds, if not thousands, of packages. Hopefully the buyers understand this. Some will, some won't. That's the struggle we live in as eBay sellers. Running Buck, what's going on? Good morning. Flawed Thinker says, had a guy yesterday request a refund for a card that he bought a few months ago. I was able to go back into my feedback and found where he left positive feedback 2 months ago. So I called him out on it and he immediately canceled his request. Not sure if he was trying to scam me or not. So this is a good point. I've noticed this happens I think the more volume you do, especially if you're selling low end cards, low dollar cards, and you're doing high volume, you're going to run into this often. I run into this a lot. And I don't think I don't think most of the 9 times out of 10, these are not scammers. What I've found, and so there's a couple instances where examples of what I run into. Number one, and this is probably the first instance is probably what you're going through. People just don't pay attention to what they're getting. And I didn't see what, so I wonder in your example, I didn't see it in your message here, but was it marked delivered? So this is the most common occurrence I see when people want a refund. I actually had somebody try doing this, and I'm like, dude, you left me positive feedback on this. It's marked delivered, and you left me positive feedback. Well, I don't have it. And then they'll come back, oh, I found it. Because people are unorganized, myself included. So that's usually the case where if it's an ESE, it's not marked delivered. And so people go through their purchases and they don't like mark. And well, this guy even did. Once he received it, he went in, he's like, I'm going to mark it delivered. But what he was doing was he was probably going through, he clicked on purchases. And let's see, what's one of my latest? Let's see, because I guarantee you I have some. Oh, yep, I have Adon Sanchez 2023 Bowman Chrome first pink fuchsia vapor refractor. It's marked shipped. It's not marked delivered. So they're like, I didn't get this. And so they open up a return. But I know it was delivered. Oh, it looks like this guy sent me, I bought 2 cards from him. One says shipped, and one says delivered. I don't know. But I know I got it. So 34 cards just sold. Boom. So I think that's the most common occurrence is when it's not marked delivered in the eBay system. People just look through their purchases and just open up cases, whether they do it thinking, and now it's probably 50-50, maybe not that much, but they're like, I didn't get this. I'm requesting a refund because I didn't get it. Or they are trying to scam and be like, oh, I'm going to cheat the system. It says it's not delivered. So the seller's not going to be, eBay's not going to side with the seller. eBay's going to side with the buyer. So fortunately, you were able to get that rectified. Red Light says, was looking through some unopened wax and found a box of 1987 Topps O-Peach. So some 87 O-Peachy. Very nice. Which is kind of more rare, I guess. Low Roller says, check your crypto portfolio. I don't have much crypto. I do have some altcoins. Where's my Coinbase? I just have Coinbase. I've got like $300 worth of altcoins. I don't even know where Coinbase is on my phone. There it is. Okay. I have, hey, it has gone up. It's gone up 4% in the past day, which is actually a decent return. Actually, a really good return for one day. Let's see. What's my year? Can we go to my year? Past. I want to. Oh, yeah. Here. But it's gone up 4% in the last day. In the last year, my crypto portfolio is down. That's just dollars. I want a percent. I don't know what the percent is. It's down $18, which I guess I can do the math. Oh, hey, I have some cash in my Coinbase. I could buy some more. I've got Tezos, Shiba Inu, and Cardano. Those are the cryptos I have. I have a few Dogecoins in my Robinhood account. Just kind of, I have 21. Where did I buy in at? Total return, a whopping 75 cents on Dogecoin. Flawed Thinker, how does eBay allow someone to make a refund claim if they have left feedback, especially? That's a great point. I think it's a glitch in the system that they need to rectify. But yeah, they can do it because I had this same instance happened to be about a week ago. And not only was it marked delivered, but positive feedback was left. And they're like, well, I can't find it. I don't have it. And I'm like, you left, it was marked delivered on whatever date, and you left positive feedback. Would you leave positive feedback if you didn't get it? And then, I don't know. And then they came, I found it. It was with another card. I don't know. So yeah. Danny, what's going on? Good morning. Do you mind me asking how you ship? I just started and am having some success. I'm trying to find the balance between cost and quality, safe shipping. Thanks so much. That's kind of subjective. So it kind of depends on what Are you shipping low end in envelopes? And I guess low end is a subjective term. So if it's anything under $20, you can use the eBay standard envelope. And I just ship in a standard number 10. Some people, like if it's single card sale, they'll use the smaller number 6s, which, by the way, I did buy some just to try that out. They are a lot cheaper than the number 10, the longer ones. I like the number 10s. It's kind of a shipping tangent. I like the number 10s for multiple card orders. But if it's a single card order, the shorter ones are perfect. So I am going to add that to my little shipping repertoire. So if you're doing ESC under $20, plain white envelope is fine. You don't have to get a fancy envelope. If you're doing volume, you want to keep your costs down. It's going to be fine. I've said this multiple times. I've had more damages. I've had more bubble mailers damaged than I have plain white envelopes, and I've shipped thousands and thousands more plain white envelopes than I have bubble mailers. So if you're shipping higher end cards, in a high, by higher end, I'm saying, like, say it's $20 to $100, a bubble mailer, cardboard, make sure they're in a penny sleeve, top loader, team bag, cardboard, inside a bubble mailer. Maybe put some packing peanuts so it's not a flat. You don't want bubble mailers to be flat. You want your envelopes to be flat. You don't want your bubble mailers to be flat. Anything over $100, I typically send in a box because I have had, like I said, I've had damaged bubble mailers. So, and I've had more damaged bubble mailers than I have plain white envelopes. So it just kind of depends on what you're shipping. Value Box Digger wants to know, is the trash can at the curb? It is. Yes, took it out there last night. Orlando's in the house. What's up? Good morning. Cooter's here. Good morning. He's in Durham, North Carolina. The Bulls. He hasn't seen Crash Davis or Annie. Oh my God, is it Savoy or Savoy? I haven't seen Bull Durham in a long time. I used to watch it all the time. In fact, when I moved here, lived in an apartment. When I first moved here, lived in an apartment, and I didn't have. Actually, I don't think I ever had cable in that house. I didn't have internet for the first 2 weeks, but that's just because I couldn't get on their list for 2 weeks. So I had like a DVD player. Remember those? Remember the DVDs? So I had a DVD player, and I watched Bull Durham. Was like every other night. I'd watch Bull Durham. What other DVDs I had? Bull Durham. And then I think once football season started, then I got one of those antennas. So I could get like Fox and ABC, those affiliates. And then when I met my now wife, she's like, how can you not have, like, I went from, this has been almost 10 years ago. I went from like having rabbit ears and 4 channels and a DVD player. Now we have like every goddamn streaming platform known to man. Can't get enough TV. Brian says Score app tells you the station. It's all the way down at the bottom of the matchup summer. Really? I did not see that. Let me see. Score app. Because I was looking, man. I was trying to find it. Hey, the Leathernecks, they've got Co-College tonight. Cupcake game. Okay, I'm just going to pick I'm going to pick a top 25 game. South Carolina, Clemson. Scroll all the way down. I don't see it. Oh, I do see it. I'm an idiot. Watch on ACC Network. Okay. Thank you, Brian. Bo, you're a dumbass, and you just didn't look hard enough. Co-College tonight. Spencer, McCombie homie, what's going on? Welcome back to the Leatherneck Club. Come back to Macomb soon. I can go into the pregame social at the Hall of Fame room. What's going on? Spencer's in the house. He's from Macomb. Paul says a hidden benefit of being a college dropout is they never ever ask me for money. There you go. You know what's funny is I started my college career at Blackhawk, and I probably never signed up for. They probably don't have my address. I bet my mom gets all of my Blackhawk college mail, and she's like, you don't want that. But yeah, I never get Blackhawk college stuff. Huddle card collection, what's going on? He's answering Danny's question. I use either a top loader or card saver, wrap it in a half sheet of paper. Haven't had big orders yet, so I use the 6x3 envelopes from Dollar Tree. There you go. I bought a bunch, and when they still had 80 in a box. Danny, thanks you. Value box sticker. Multiple coaches fired. Sounds like the Carolina Panthers and the Las Vegas Raiders. Interesting. Soto CAD Collectibles. What's going on? Sunday. 99-cent cards. Don't miss out, right? Bargain Boxer. What's going on? Randy's in the house. I met the notorious BG, Brian Gray, not Brittany Griner. That's a different guy. At the Spectacular last year, he was buying cards for repacks. And he's got a countdown. 233 days until Cleveland National next year. Kyle, good morning. Bruce in the house. To jump off course, there is no course on Hobby Evolution. To jump off course in the topic, what players in Tennessee, Iowa Cubs have the potential to make the show in 2024? Let's see. I'm trying to think here. Okay. I like this question. I like Cubs baseball talk. Tennessee Smokies roster. All right. So Tennessee Smokies. Okay. So I'm looking at the Tennessee Smokies. Oh shit. We got ads pop. Okay, there we go. Let's see. Cade Horton. I think Cade Horton, pitcher. He was at AA last year. I think he will I think he'll debut at some point as a starting pitcher in 2024. Cade Horton. I think possibly Riley Martin as a relief pitcher. He went to Quincy University. Let's see. Cole Franklin and Eduardo Nunez. They will be in the Rule 5 draft tomorrow. I would not be surprised if one or both of those guys are picked in the Rule 5 draft and potentially make the show with another team in a bullpen. So from pitchers, I think Cade Horton from Tennessee, possibly Riley Martin. Let's see. I don't think any of the catchers will make the show this year. I think an outside chance. Now we're getting into some of the prospect. Well, Cade Horton, you would know. Matt Shaw, who was the first round pick last year. Potentially late season debut for Matt Shaw. We'll see. I don't think James Triantos comes up quite yet. Andy Weber's a guy that I could see because I think he can play multiple positions. He's a guy that I could see making a few spot appearances, like if there's injuries or something. He's a guy that I think could potentially make it, just a few games, nothing big. And I don't think Owen Casey makes it this year either. So my guesses from Tennessee: Andy Weber, Matt Shaw, Cade Horton, Riley Martin, and then potentially for other teams, because I think they might get picked in the Rule 5 draft, Cole Franklin and Eduardo Nunez. So Paul says, people love a good deal and most eBay buyers don't understand the cart and coupons. I agree. Hence, 70% or more orders are single card. The 100 card lots are amazing because the AOV and profit per hour. Makes it easy for customers to shop and get a good deal. They're getting cards for as low as 30 cents each. So even if there are many they already have, it's still a better deal than hunting singles. Sold almost as many Griffey cards in 1 week as Burbank sold in 3 months because of lots. The profit is higher too. Value Box Sticker says, Paul, you are correct. I wonder on the 99-cent method of Bose if the buyers grabbing 7+ are YouTube followers that hear it versus see it in the fine print. A lot are YouTube viewers. Like I see a lot of the deals when I do 7 or more. Actually, it's more the 50% sale where I see a ton because the 7+ is year round. And like you can go in so the thing is, if you want a Griffey card in my store, you can see on the listing, buy 7 or more. Here's the thing. Neither is wrong. or neither is I don't think either is a better way to sell. Paul does lots. I do singles. Is it better for Paul? It's probably better for Paul to do lots. It's better for me to do singles. It's just that's the way I have my business set up. It's like, well, you should sell soccer and hockey and Pokemon. Well, that's not my business. My business is singles. It's not lots. It's a nice compliment. If I get soccer and hockey in a purchase, it's like, oh, this might be worth something putting on eBay. I'll put it. I sell some hockey and soccer, but I'm not going to switch because, oh, you can make money. I can make money on crypto too, but you don't see my portfolio with a bunch of crypto. So I like my method. Paul likes his method. There was something. So what I was trying to get at was, the thing is, there's no universal, because Paul gives his examples. I can counter that with, sometimes I sell 50. I had a buyer come in and buy like 75 Juan Gonzalez cards, like every Juan Gonzalez card. If I put 75 Juan Gonzalez cards in a lot, I probably wouldn't, because Juan Gonzalez wouldn't be a player that I would put in a lot. Sold 75 after the, say $1.50 a card minus the 25%. I'm making more on that sale. Does that happen? Is that common? No, but it does happen. Tom Glavine recently, and some of these sales are like, I would not even put these guys in a lot, because lots are complimentary to me. Then there's also it's a very similar argument to sorting your bargain boxes. Okay. So Paul has his lots. I have some of my lots. Well, I only want that one card. And this is something you get in lots. How many messages, Paul, do you get from somebody saying, I only want, can I buy this card, or I only need 3 of these cards? Can I buy them separately? I mean, I get that, and I have just a few lots in my eBay store. Can I just buy this Shaquille O'Neal, whatever? It's like, no, just buy it's $5. Just buy the goddamn lot. How about this? I'll sell it to you for $5 and I'll give you 4 free cards or 7 free cards, whatever it is. Same with bargain boxes. Some people want to dig. Some people want to just go, I'm a Cubs collector, so I'm going straight to the Cubs section. Or I collect 1981 tops. I'm trying to build that set. Where's your 1981 top set? Oh, okay. You've got them sorted. Oh, you don't have them sorted. Same with lots. Some people don't want to buy lots. Some people just want to buy singles. They don't want 100 Ken Griffey Jr. cards. They just want this 1991 Donruss. So that's my thoughts. And it's much faster. Like my efficiency on selling singles, like feed them through the Rico 8170, throw them up on Card Dealer Pro, boom, 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 boom. My singles, I'm efficient. When I do sell my lots, it slows me down, because now I've got to take them out of my team bag, because I've got to label them and take them out, sleeve them if they're not sleeved, put them in the card savers. It slows down my efficiency. But I'm okay with that, because the payoff is you do, it's a $5 sale as opposed to a $1.75 sale or whatever. Collector's Dream says all new products are overpriced. So sad for the hobby. And you could have said that in 1999, 2014, 1989, 1982, 1974. The Paul Carl lot method is interesting, but I have to remind myself that it doesn't coincide well with my inventory right now. That's another thing. I mean, I have the inventory where it could be beneficial, but I also have to sort, right? How much time does it, now a lot of this stuff, sometimes I'm just like, I'll go through, because sometimes I do when I'm buying bulk, I already set aside cards, that I'm going to list in my eBay store. I'm already setting aside certain players that I just sell outright to customers. So it's like, oh, I'll just pull the Peyton Manning. I'm going to do a Peyton Manning lot, or I'm going to do a, I always pull the Jordans, set the Jordans aside because those sell well. So, but I'm not going to go into my bargain boxes and be like, oh, now when I do closeout sales, like when I do this Saturday, Janesville, Wisconsin, I'll have those 4 rows for $40. I cherry pick, those have been cherry picked by people digging through my bargain boxes. And then I do a little cherry picking myself. It's like, I'm going to make a lot. Oh, there's a whole bunch of Sammy. I listed 100 card lot of Sammy Sosa cards for $30. All White Sox cards. And there's only like 15 unique cards. Probably not going to sell because people don't want 100 Sammy Sosas with only 15 uniques. But I'm like, oh, they were like all in a row. I'm like, oh, I'm just going to pull these. And I was able to pull out 100. Andy Mack says, I'm not buying new inventory yet at the moment. Flawed Thinker says the 18 update blasters were $150. Actually, that's less than I thought they would be. $1,200, about a hobby box price. The 100 card lots are the ideal in my opinion, but next best is probably 6 card lots for easy ESE shipping. My 100 card lots, and I've done a couple. I sold a Drew Brees 100 card lot during my 50% off sale. At the same time, I listed a Matthew Stafford 100 card lot. It has not moved. No offers. Sammy Sosa, I just listed that a couple days ago. Then you can move 6 cards. It normally would be like $1.50 each shipped. Hall of Fame card collector says, good morning. Listening from work. What's going on? We've got grinding for good. Happy hump day. Value Box Digger says LRS going to get Bowman into big coin episodes before you know it. Low Roller says buy Dogecoin. Brian says I had the same thing happen to me last week. A buyer messaged me complaining about not receiving the card. I checked eBay and it was delivered the previous day. I sent the buyer the tracking. The buyer backpedals and says the postal worker is stealing his cards. Maybe eBay allows buyers to open cases on feedback left items so they can weed out who their bad buyers are. Let's see. You heard WWE will discontinue to sell DVDs and Blu-rays in the UK. USA will be next. The illegal stream have all college basketball. There you go. Johnny M says, good morning for the treadmill at Planet Fitness. Mailing's all done and dropped off. Max says, can lose with crypto too. Cards you don't. Johnny says, as long as we make money at the end of the day, doesn't matter how you get there. 100%. 100%. There you go. Johnny M says, I made more with Bitcoin in the last 2.5 years than I have in 25 years of eBay sales, and I've bought and sold Bitcoins many times. I made a killing on crypto back in, during COVID. I made when we were making a killing on everything, on cards and crypto. Paul says, I've gotten 5 of those messages. One guy actually offered me $15 for 1 card in a lot, so I made a listing for him for that. Let's see. Where are we at? Sports card ripping teacher. They let us out of our meeting early. Real Saint Nick Miracle. Glad to catch a few more minutes. Have a great day. Thanks for jumping in. There you go. Paul's selling hard. Paul's selling hard, man. You're like Big Bry, the deal guy. Ken loves the 12 to 16 card lots for easy ESE shipping. Ken's in the house. So is wax overpriced? Is wax overpriced? No, it's not. Yes, it is. Here's the thing. It's always been overpriced. I wrote in the description. In fact, I think I put it back in the room. Grab any. I'm going to go grab. Let's keep some Topps magazines, Beckett's. All right. Ooh, this is a fun one. Sports card from 1992. Oh, that's got the Dream Team on it. Look at that. What a cover. And I bet October 1992, I bet there's going to be, and I didn't pre-look at this. There's always a reader's right forum. Usually Q&A. Okay. I wonder if. And in the Q&A, in the reader's right, almost every year, somebody's complaining about prices. Not every month it appears. Look at the card. Look at those cards. Oh, beautiful. Who do we got? Barkley, Pippen. All right. So we won't go through all this, but there's always somebody bitching about pricing. 1989. Oh my God. I'm not paying $1 for Upper Deck. When I was a kid, they were $5. They were a nickel. Now they're $1. They went up 20x in 20 years, 25 years, whatever it was. Wax is always going to be overpriced to a certain segment. Just because Bowman Draft that comes out next week, I believe, just because Bowman Draft is a jumbo box is around $500, $550 maybe. Oh, I'm not paying $500. Don't buy it. Like you don't have to buy it. Yes, there's expensive wax. And was going back and forth with Mike Summer about this last night on Twitter. And he's like, well, before COVID, they were $5 and $10 blasters. I don't remember any $5 blasters outside of Black Friday sales and like WWE and NASCAR, like stuff like that. Sure, it was $5. But you could get $10 blasters. You can get $10 blasters right now. We just showed you blowout cards. There are so many cheap wax. If you want to rip, where was it at? Well, I don't want to rip that. And that's the counter. Well, I'm not going to rip that. I want to rip the expensive stuff. That's the thing. People don't want wax. Is sometimes you lose, sometimes you win. Usually it's about, if you resell the contents, usually on like new products. Now I wouldn't go out and buy 2019 Topps Series 1. It's going to be, unless you hit something, it's going to be hard to get your money back. Why is my phone going off? But you can go to blowout cards right now. You can get a Heritage High Number on pre-order. Topps Heritage High Number pre-order. $65 for a hobby box. I don't remember seeing that cheap for a hobby box of any like mainstream product since before COVID. Wax is too high. Bullshit. Go to Blowout Cards or David Adams or Steel City or your local card shop. There's going to be a little markup at your local card shop. You can get a blaster case of Topps Heritage, 40 boxes for $400 right now at Blowout Cards. They should give me some store credit. Fish, give me some credit. Pumping your shit. You can get now is Bowman, but the thing is, people buy it. And who are we to judge? You can still get a case of Allen and Ginter. This year's Allen and Ginter for $1,000. That's what I was paying at release in 2018 and 2019. Now at release, it's a little easier to sell those, flip them, than it is, a couple months later. But wax is cheap in comparison to what we've seen the last couple of years. Wax is always going to be overpriced to some people. There are certain products that are always going to be overpriced. Pivot. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to go out and spend $550 on Bowman Draft. The people that are bitching about high prices, most of them, do they even want Bowman Draft? If they would open a pack of Bowman Draft, they're like, I've never even heard of these guys. Where's Mike Trout? Well, he's not in that damn product, you dummy. But he might be in Heritage. Well, he is in Heritage. He's in there, Allen and Ginter. It's always been overpriced, and it's always going to be overpriced. I bet our great-grandparents in 1956, when they went to the local blacksmith shop, or what were grocery stores called in the 50s? I don't know, probably grocery stores. When they went to the grocery store, and there's a pack of cards on the counter for a nickel We're not paying 5 cents for a picture of a baseball player. Guarantee our grandparents or great-grandparents said that. 5 cents for a baseball card? What is a baseball card? Pictures of baseball players. Wax was overpriced in 1956. Wax was overpriced in 1969. Nice. Wax was overpriced in 1982. It was overpriced in 1989. It was overpriced in 1998. It was overpriced in 2014. It was overpriced in 2020. It's overpriced today. It's always going to be overpriced to somebody. All right. Where are we at? I've got to wrap things up. I've got to hit the road. Fun times, Uncle's graveside services are today, so that's going to be a blast. Let's see. Ken says, over the last few years, I've only bought unopened product when it's been at a serious discount, since the stuff I'm opening is only for spits and giggles anyway. Max says, 100% disagree. It's always been overpriced. It has. The last 3 years have been more egregious than ever. Nobody takes a look at the macro. Small, smooth brains. Disagree completely with that comment. Value Box Digger says, there's too much Bowman in the hobby. Yep, I said it. It sells. So when it sells, just throw more at us. First edition, platinum, sapphire. ATL Picker, someone fishing for a show sponsor. Max says, I think the fact, I'm just fishing for some free wax. Max says, I think the fact that Heritage released at $120 to $130 a box last year, and now you can buy boxes for $65 to $70 says enough. There was, and the thing is, there was probably less demand than they expected at $120 a box. Well, we've got to drop the price. I'm curious, what did I say the price was on that Heritage? So 2023 Heritage high number, $65 at pre-order. Let's go back and look at historical pricing. Let's look at 2022. That was high number, correct? Yeah, Heritage high number. So last year, Heritage high number, and I don't think I'm not going to have access to this year's factory cost. Last year factory cost on 2022 high number was $61.83. You can buy it for $50 a box on DealerNet. Boston Smoke says, in 1991 Stadium Club baseball wax was $100. Against my better judgment, I bought a box. It was so hot I made money. Commons sold for $1. I remember that. I remember going to card shows and seeing the Commons sell for that much. Like, I want the Ryan Sandberg. Ooh, no, I don't. Not for $10 or whatever the cost was. Shane says, have a great day. Work time. Have a great one. Max says, I just want to be able to enjoy the hobby the same way I did 5 years ago. The products I liked doubled and the product got worse. Doesn't make sense. Dairyland Picker liked my blacksmith shop. Schlitz, I love the thumbnail. Porter's in the house. Good morning. Bruce disagrees about something. Tomorrow I shall say why. Max says, this is worse than the NIL spew. Wax is not overpriced. Wax is not overpriced. Some wax is. Some wax is overpriced. All right, so I'm going to run. Have a great day. Hit the like button. Hey, we didn't beg for likes today. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Hit up my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Link also in the description. I'll be in Janesville, Wisconsin this Saturday. I'll have dime boxes. Hey, if you don't want to spend your money on the overpriced wax, that's not really overpriced. Come to Janesville this Saturday and shop my dime boxes. Shop my dime boxes, and I'll blow them out. 4-row boxes. I have some for $40. Come see me this Saturday. I'll bring some supplies. I'll have card savers and penny sleeves. So what else? Saturday. So that's Saturday. So no show, no Hobby Evolution on Saturday morning. I'll be at the Club 400 Christmas party Saturday night. So no show on Sunday morning. And then Monday, we will recap the weekend next Monday. So have a great day. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.